Hello, and we're live. Welcome back to my channel. This video is going to be about multiplying and dividing decimals. So this is a continuation of the decimal series. And so if you have not seen the other two videos, you can go back and watch them. And this one is a little more advanced. So we talked about how to make a decimal into a fraction into a decimal, and how to do simple addition and subtraction. And now we're going to talk about multiplying and dividing. When I multiply decimals, for example, if I had 3.25 times 5, okay, I actually just multiply as I normally would. So 3.25 times 5, I multiply that out, 25, 12, 16, and then I count how many places I have in both factors. So 1, 2. So I start here at the end and I count 1, 2. So my answer is 16.25. And that's it. That's all there is to it, is you count the decimals in your factors. So if I had 32.5 times 0.5, I have 1, 2, and I still get 16.25. So if I had the decimals here and here, I would have 1, 2, 3, 4. So then in my answer, I always start here at the end and I go 1, 2, 3, 4. My answer would be 0.1625. So if I have the same digits and all I have is different decimal point places, that's the only thing that's going to change. And that's it for multiplying decimals. It's so easy. You just use the numbers that you have and count the decimal places. Just don't forget to count those decimal places. One more little detail is if I had 3.15 times 0.6, or say it was 0.06 for like 6%, and I go ahead and I multiply that out, 39, 18, and then that's 0. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 places. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm not going to have 0.1890 cents. So this would round off to 0.19 cents. So if it's money, you make sure that you only use 2 decimal places after the decimal point. That is all there is to it. Now, the next thing we're going to do is divide by decimals. The rule about dividing by decimals is you cannot divide, you cannot have a divisor that has a decimal in it. So if I had 0.5 into 150, or I could say 150 divided by 0.5. Okay, so what I would do is I would have to multiply this by a power of 10 so that I have a whole number in the divisor. So multiply by 10, and I don't have a decimal here, but it's understood that every number has a decimal at the end. This just means 150 and no parts, okay? So I can add as many zeros here as I want to, or as I can. So now I'm going to move over 1, move over 1. My decimal place for my quotient is right above that point, okay? Is that like right there? So 5 goes into 15 3 times, and then I have 0, 0. So 0.5 into 150, the answer is 300. That looks kind of strange, doesn't it? It almost, you think that it's going to be a smaller number, but it's actually a bigger number. Okay, so let's see. If I had 0.11 into, I'm just making these numbers up right now on the spot here. I have a decimal here. So I count 1, 2. So I multiply by 10, which is 100. My understood decimals here, so I go 1, 2, and my answer decimal is going to be right there. So 11 into 53 would be 4, and that would be 11 into 96 would be 8. Okay, and sometimes people will like make a line. I think the kids usually do that. They make a line to know that they've brought down another number. And then 11 into 80 would be 7. Bring down another 0. And 11 into 30 would be 2. Okay, so I'm just going to stop there. You see the idea. Now, the other rule of division is that after the decimal point, you can bring down as many zeros as you want. You know, if your answer says round off to the nearest tenth, you can just do 2 and then figure out what you want to round off to. And or if you want to keep going, it just depends on what you are actually doing. You could just say a remainder of whatever. Okay, so sometimes you have to go back and look at the directions. Are they telling me to round off to a decimal place? Are they telling me to leave the remainder as a fraction? Are they telling me to round off to the nearest 1? So you go back and you just read the directions about that. But that's all there is to it. So let's review multiplication. You multiply as normal and you count the decimal points, the decimal places at the end. And then you put those into your answer. The answer to a multiplication problem is the product. Okay, so the product would have the same amount of decimal places as both factors. So you have to add them all up. And then when you divide, you make sure that you only divide by a whole number. So you have to make that divisor a whole number by multiplying by a power of 10. And whatever you do to the divisor, you need to do to the dividend, which is the number underneath the division symbol. So that's it. So thank you for watching. I hope that this was understandable to you. Let me know what you think and if this helps you with your division of decimals. And if you have any questions, please go ahead and post below. And I think that's it for decimals. Yeah. So if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And let me know if there's any mathematical concepts that you want to review, and I can make a video of it and put it in my collection. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I would love to have you as a subscriber. I plan to put on more math videos because I think this helps. It can help a lot of people with these simple math concepts. I teach traditional math, and what the concepts that I will be teaching, it's pretty much understood that you would already know your addition facts, your multiplication tables, and a general understanding, excuse me, of basic math. So I am kind of teaching toward the junior high level and getting those math facts solidified, which are really important as kids go into the high school years. So hopefully these videos are helpful to parents to kind of review those things and get their students ready for the next step. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.